Welcome back in our episode of NBA 2K12. Last episode we're off to fresh up the Chicago Bulls. Actually in the New York Knicks now. So we're down to the last 7 teams to win. Choose your team random. So now, which the next episode don't be trash now, so are no longer need. So we're gonna select who's the spin the reel will be. Which the spin the wheel who will be. Will be. Who will be. Who will be. It is the Chicago Bulls. So the Chicago Bulls is the next team with the prime Derrick Rose already who got retirement. So down to 6 teams left. That's the Chicago Bulls. They're the next team right now. But first we'll check out the ABA Bowl where it goes. So now we're gonna go with Miami Chicago game. Still gonna good game with Derrick Rose. He's still on the prime. So Derrick Rose is the monster was so powerful right now. In the NBA, he already retired. In real life, Derrick Rose got injured in 2012. It was torn ACL. So that should do it for now. The youngest MVP ever in NBA. So now, without further ado, and here we go. Enjoy the video by Derrick Rose and the Bulls. Let's get started.
Welcome to the NBA here on 2K Sports. It's Tuesday Hoops, and it's next. It'll be LeBron James and the Miami Heat facing off against Joakim Noah and the Chicago Bulls. And now let's toss it over to Kevin Harlan with the rest of the 2K crew. I'll catch you at the break.
Hello and welcome everyone to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. And Doris Burke will be reporting from the sideline. A starting 5 for both teams brought to you by State Farm. First for the Heat, Chalmers and Wade are the 1 and the 2. We got Haslam. He's the definition of a superstar and is always a major factor. And it's LeBron James, and it's Bosh in at the 4. And then for the Chicago Bulls, Derrick Rose is out there with Richard Hamilton. And they've got Joakim Noah, the big man at the center. He's a superstar, no doubt. And what a huge boost for this team, night in and night out. And it's Boozer in at the 4 spot.
Well, Chicago really established its home record last year at the United Center. In fact, they finished with the best record at home in the Eastern Conference. That was one of the big reasons why they were the #1 overall seed in the playoffs.
And so the tip-off, it's Miami. LeBron against Butler. Butler against LeBron. And it's Chicago with the rebound. You mentioned the Bulls, Steve, tied the other #1 seed, the Spurs, for the best home record in the entire league. Those were 2 great teams in the regular year.
They certainly were. 36 wins and 41 tries. Just what you'd expect from a team that was so dominant at home like the Bulls were.
Defended by Butler. LeBron pitch to Haslam. They're moving it around. Here's Wade, and lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. They get Carlos Boozer.
Dwayne Wade plays so hard and he's so athletic. He ends up in midair half the time getting knocked down. So he's always going to miss a handful of games with injury, but just an amazing talent and a great force offensively.
What you said about Wade, that injury risk will always be there. The way he's constantly attacking the rim.
You take away that aggressiveness and you just hope that he doesn't get too many injuries, but also that he maintains his body at a really high level during the season and during the offseason so he can withstand his attacking type style.
I'll go to Doris Burke, who spoke with Tom Thibodeau. Doris?
He talked a little bit about their defensive mindset, saying essentially that they're willing to sacrifice a little bit of space on the interior if it allows them to stay tight on their outside shooters. He said, listen, it's no secret they like to attack you from long range. That's what we're looking to stop tonight.
Doris, thank you. Obviously, Clark, the 3 ball is a big concern for any defense.
Well, yeah, it is, Kevin, but the upside is you're not getting broken down in the lane and you're not giving them free throws, but you still have to challenge those shots.
That was good awareness. Fouling and avoiding giving up an easy dunk.
Well, I think that's just good, smart basketball. Make him earn his points at the line. Well, last year in the playoffs, LeBron was up to his usual tricks. He felt good about not having to carry the same load as he always had to, though, and that relieved him a bit and made him better in my mind.
Here's Butler. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. Butler's got his first 3 points of the game. Chicago on D. Here's Chalmers. Good from 11 feet out. Back to LeBron. You know, Clark, he didn't have to carry the load like it is. Up in Cleveland, but he still had some big-time shots for the Heat and Steve, not necessarily in the regular season, but really in the postseason. That's where he stepped up big time.
Particularly in the first 3 rounds. In the finals, remember, he kind of took a step back in that Chicago series. He made some enormous shots in that series. He was so good offensively. Then all of a sudden against Dallas, it was like he lost his confidence. So he's still a little bit of a work in progress in terms of putting it all together.
He feeds it to Hamilton. Deflected. It's stolen by Wade.
Well, he was being overly optimistic there, thinking he could make that back.
Here's Chicago. Outside Butler. Beyond the arc. Offensive rebound. Back to Rose. Hamilton outside. And stolen by LeBron.
What a sloppy start for him. He's got to be much more careful protecting the ball.
Yeah, 4 turnovers for him already, guys. I mean, if he keeps that up, I think he'd have to expect some funny looks from his teammates. You got to wonder, has Miami set off a bit of an arms race in regards to talent with what they were able to pull off last year? Are other teams going to look to stack stars just to try to keep up?
That's the bucket. Boozer's got his first basket of the night.
You know, the turnaround jumper, guys, is one of those shots that always just looks so good. I mean, it's got that nice, smooth, singular motion. Sweet.
Man, is he hard to defend. When you play him one way, he'll just go the other.
Like you brought up the stars wanting to play with each other. You know, Steve, it seems like that is the trend in the NBA.
I think every player wants to play with great players. It's all circumstantial, really. If you're a free agent and there's a team with cap room and you've got a partner who you want to play with and you can work it all out like Miami did, then that's great. But I think those circumstances are going to be few and far between.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Taj Gibson's checked in for Boozer. And it's Korver in for Butler. Ilgauskas is checked in for the Heat. James Jones comes in for LeBron. Shoots from the line. And the basket by Wade. Wade's got 6. Well, Clark, we've seen the lead change hands quite a bit in this one.
Yeah, we sure have. I mean, it's been a bit of a windshield wiper game. I mean, back and forth, the lead has gone 5 times, so no one in clear control yet. I think
both teams feel like they can win. They both have confidence. So we'll see which team can kind of ride the momentum and take control of this game.
Great positioning on the putback. It's one-on-one. Hamilton kicks to Rose. And Rose throws it down high. Now Sprite Samkin. We play that one.
can you believe that finish? Oh, a little bit of flair and flavor at the end of it.
Oh, that'll be a fan favorite, all right.
That was not your average typical dunk. It has been all offense here early.
It sure has been. I mean, both teams clicking, and it's been an entertaining game as well, guys.
Here's Hamilton. Gets good this time. The assist from Rose. Hamilton's got his second bucket of the night.
Just zipping the ball around the rim. Good advantage for them in terms of points off assists.
Well, they say coaches always talk about how defenses can't keep up with the fast moving ball, attacking with the pass makes you much harder to defend.
It's tipped. It's stolen by Wade. Miami trailing. Covered by Hamilton. Wade passes to Jones. Back to Wade. And stolen by Hamilton. The three is launched. And there's Derrick Rose on the assist for Ricky Hamilton. And that's 15 points for Rose. Offense, the order of the day as the first quarter comes to a close. Bulls lead by 5.
It was pretty impressive the way they moved the ball, made the extra pass, and found open shooters that whole quarter.
Yeah, it's been a complete team effort out there. Great to watch.
And we'll be back in just a moment. And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. The Bulls leading by 5.
When you look at when the Bulls' fortunes turned, I mean, getting that ping pong ball to bounce their way in 2008, which ended up being Derrick Rose. That's a player that can change the direction of your franchise in a hurry, and he had.
Let's check out what Doris Burke has for us.
Guys, a lot of the talk last year was about Coach Tom Thibodeau's defensive game plan, and rightly so. They were one of the most consistent defensive teams in the entire NBA. But an overlooked storyline for the Chicago Bulls was the motion offense Coach Thibodeau introduced as well. Derrick Rose said the offense is great. If I don't have the ball, I'm always moving. Everyone is moving, and that makes us hard to guard. Guys?
Always great to hear from you, Doris.
And with the players on that team, they could run the motion offense to perfection.
Well, and I think they have the talent, guys, especially with Derrick Rose running the show. Very tough to guard him and 4 other players who are cutting and moving at the same time.
And stolen by Ilgauskas.
And you know, despite the number of turnovers, Kevin, they still got the lead here.
Well, eventually, guys, you know those mistakes will come back and haunt you, so they've got to do a better job of taking care of the basketball.
Clark, back to the point you made, seems to be how it always works out for the Chicago Bulls.
Well, how about the odds of them getting Derrick Rose? About 1.7%. So they got lucky, but they took advantage, and Chicago. Really built its team around Derrick Rose. Now, Miami had such a turbulent season last year as far as the drama that surrounded that team. But they were consistent and steady on the road, and they ended up with the best away record in the Eastern Conference.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Carlos Boozer's checked in for Gibson. Butler comes in for Kyle Korver. And Derrick Rose is subbed in for C.J. Watson. Rose against Chalmers. Rose dishes to a shoot, and stolen by Miller. It's a close game here in Chicago. Great offensive performance they're putting on.
You see the benefit of knocking down baskets consecutively because it leads to the confidence growing and growing, doesn't it, Steve?
It sure does, and now it's to the point where they just feel unstoppable.
And back to Miami, you know, Clark, road trips aren't easy when you're the villains of the NBA, and there's no doubt that one of those from the NBA is going to look for the Miami person.
I agree, no doubt about it, but I think that also helping them come together. You know, teams typically do a good job of bonding when they're on the road. That us against them mentality, nobody for you, and quite honestly, really good teams and players enjoy winning on the road more than they do even winning at home.
And good on the basket. Book it. Miller's got his first points of the game. Easy shot. Again, Chicago.
And again, the lead changes hands.
Yep, back and forth we go, Steve. I mean, back and forth. Neither side caving in.
Well, Rose has become the cornerstone of this Chicago franchise. In fact, last season, he became the first Bulls player to be named as a starter in the All-Star game since Michael Jordan.
Here's what Miami's going with right now. Udonis Haslem, he's checked in for Ilgauskas. James Jones comes in for LeBron. Eddie House subbed in for Mario Chalmers. Rose kicks to Bogut. There's the three. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. And the Bulls lead by 3. Steve brought up Rose as an all-star. You've talked about his MVP seasons. You think there would have been some in-between he and Jordan for such a storied franchise, but it took a while.
Yeah, it did take a while. Sometimes that's the way it goes. If you're not winning, you can have good players, and they just don't quite get that all-star nod. They've had some good players, but clearly Derrick Rose has made that a moot point because he's going to be a perennial all-star as long as he's healthy.
Clark, think how hard it is to be the number 1 overall pick. Then to be the number 1 overall pick by your hometown team.
That's a great point.
Where you grew up. That's got to be tough.
It's really difficult, but a credit to him, but he seems to have a nice nucleus of support around him. His brothers, his mom, extended folks, and that makes a big difference because there's great pressure. Not only being number 1, as you mentioned, but I think even more so playing in the city that you grew up in.
Outside, House gets it to go. 9 points in the game so far. No shortage of drama here early on.
Well, neither team can grasp control of this thing. I mean, both teams trying to get hold of it.
Well, yeah, 8 lead changes already. I mean, that's a big record this early in the game. So we're in for a good treat tonight, isn't it?
Now it's sent at the Doris on the sideline.
Joakim Noah, a huge part of the identity of this Bulls team. Coach Thibodeau, his energy is infectious, and he goes as hard and fast. Guys walk into the gym and gravitate toward his fire. And Derrick Rose, he can be down 20, and I know of all the people on the court, he's going to be the one still fighting. When you have somebody like that, it makes you want to play harder, and everyone does play harder. Guys, for a guy who was roundly panned in Chicago when he was drafted, people are finally starting to come around.
He's got a great motor. Doris, thank you. Rose with the ball. 19 points in the game. Hamilton. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. Rose has got his 8th assist in the game.
That's 9 straight points coming off 3 3-pointers. The defense just getting shelled.
Steve, the threes are killing him. I think they've got to find a way to chase him off the 3-point line.
Well, that should be a rule. No layup. Protect the paint. Make them earn every point.
Yeah, I think that's just tough, hard-nosed, smash-mouth basketball. Make your opponent earn their points from the line. Don't give up any layups.
Taj Gibson's checked in for the Bulls. Korver comes in for Butler. Then for the Heat, LeBron, he's checked in for Bosch. Wade comes in for James Jones, and it's Chalmers in for Eddie House. Hamilton is tagged with the reach. That is his first foul of the game.
First personal foul, Tuesday.
Here's Wade. He has 6.
I see him. I see him.
Now, here's Chalmers. About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. Hamilton outside. Six to shoot. From about 19 feet. That's good from Noah. And the assist from Ricky Hamilton. Hamilton's got 4 assists now tonight. Here's Wade. And a great assist by Miller as that one goes in. 8 points for Wade. From deep row, hits it.
That was a big shot to extend their lead. And send them in the halftime with momentum.
And we've reached halftime in this one.
Excellent game we've seen from Derrick Rose. He's got 24 points, and he's unleashed a barrage of 3-pointers on him.
Well, you got that right. You can tell he's on target because as soon as the ball leaves his hands, it looks like every single one of them's going in.
Bulls out front, up 8.
And it's HP at the half. with an excellent game going on out at United Center. At the midway point, the Bulls are playing very well. Just a once-in-a-season shooting performance we're seeing from them. They're wearing out the twine. Through 2 quarters, Derrick Rose in complete control. His shooting percentage off the charts right now. He's got the magic touch from the field, no question about it. And on the other side, Miami's still scrapping. Their second unit making its impact felt offensively. They've come in ready to roll. D. Wade playing impressively so far. He has 8 points and has been getting after it on defense as well. No let up on either end of the court. These two enjoyed great first halves, really leading the way for both teams. We could be in for a great finish. That's all for us here in the studio. Let's get back out to Kevin and the crew. Thanks so much for joining me.
All right, the second half beginning in just a moment. The Bulls leading by 8.
Well, the Bulls played lockdown defense last season under their coach Tom Thibodeau, who was a renowned defensive coach over the years. But Chicago was #1 in the league in opponents' field goal percentage.
Here's Miller. It's good this time to assist from Rose. Miller's got it going here in the start of the second half. The first points in the third quarter for the Bulls. And Steve, that D you mentioned for the Bulls, a lot of that I think goes to Coach Tom Thibodeau, who was a long-time assistant in the NBA.
Yeah, and that's why they brought him on board, I think, Kevin. I mean, he's a defensive guru, has been since he's been in the league, and I think the results speak for themselves.
Here's Rose. The one-hand jam.
Was a ferocious Facebook finish.
It's easy to forget he plays the point, isn't it? Well, he still looks to pass first, but if nothing's there, he will not hesitate to take it up strong to the hoop.
You know, guys, thinking back to Chalmers in the NBA Finals last year, he was one of the Heat's role players that I thought really ramped it up in a tough series and helped out the Big Three quite a bit.
The free throw dropped for Chalmers.
Well, you brought up Chalmers, Clark. I mean, he was really, really good in that final series against Dallas. He knocked down his three-point shots, did a nice job of running the club, and I think really made a case for being the future starting point guard for the Miami Heat.
Wasted no time. Butler's got 7.
Good team play there. You move the ball until you find the right shot for the right person.
They're a well-oiled machine, Steve. I mean, working extremely well as a cohesive unit. Every pass delivered on time and on target. A lot of ball movement and player movement. It's a thing of beauty.
Here's LeBron. He has 6. Takes it into the teeth of the D and converts the way up. LeBron's now got his 3rd basket of the night right there. And finished off by Rose. Easy and fun. He just flies and making the deal of silly.
Which is something he does pretty often, Kevin.
Good.
Yeah, they are just lighting him up from mid-range area.
You know, sometimes we forget about the value of the mid-range or in-between game. This team has made 8 of their last 10 with that shot, the in-between shot. Rose is such an unbelievably strong finisher at the rim. His explosiveness and his leaping ability and his strength in the air makes it almost unfair when you're trying to deal with it, especially if he's got a head of steam coming in.
I think their only hope now, Clark, is to slow him down with a double team.
Well, they got to stop the bleeding, put the tourniquet on, and he's been tough to place for him.
He contorts so much while just he always stays in control.
Well, coaches talk about the launching pad. When you let Derrick Rose get to that launching pad, he gets a head of steam and goes off at 2 feet in the lane. Forget about it. He's so strong and so athletic and just a powerful finisher for a point guard.
You know, they're lucky to be leading here as much as we've seen.
And the big-time jam. Let's see it again with the Spark Slam Queen.
Well, that's a dunk you will not see. Wish he would, though. You can never see too many of those.
Chalmers against Rose. Chalmers pass to LeBron. That's good, and so Chalmers with the assist. And that's 11 points for LeBron. The Bulls leading by 7.
Well, you knew Miami would be a new big power in the East with the big three in tow. They didn't disappoint going right by their conference win total for the prior season.
Shot by Hamilton.
That's been nice, efficient work to have returning Bulls. We haven't seen him take many bad shots, and that's the sign of a mature, poised player.
It's stolen by Rose. Stolen by Bosch. Now Chalmers, 13 points in the game. Defended by Butler. On the wing, and LeBron with the basket, the assist by Chalmers. And that's 13 points for LeBron. Yeah, Clark, what you were saying before, the Heat before LeBron and Bosch won 32 games in all. But with them on board, they won 38 games. It's a very nice number.
Yeah, and that 38 was only best. Those 39 Eastern Conference wins. So Miami really handled its business well last year.
Chicago making some changes. Ashik has checked in for Noah. Gibson comes in for Carlos Boozer. And it's Korver in for Butler. And then for Miami, Ilgauskas comes in for Udonis Haslem. And Juwan Howard is subbed in for Chris Bosh. Overlook. Again, the Heat good for 2.
It's been a great day for him from the field, but his team still trailing.
Wade with the block, but he gets it back. Hamilton working against Wade. And stolen by Ilgauskas.
Tried to use the pump fake there, but the defense didn't buy it.
The dive for the ball. Out of bounds. They'll keep possession.
And took a gamble there to try to disrupt that pass.
Yeah, he couldn't quite get a hold of it, but still a nice play.
52 seconds left to play in the third. Gets it to go. Hamilton's got 12 points here in the second half. It's stolen by Rose. They're down with both hands.
Yes, indeedy. Boy, I love that one. That's not just any plain dunk. That has some panache to it.
It's an energizer, guys. That is an energizer.
It is, and that will lift the whole team up.
The Bulls leading by 14. And he drops him away up off the glass. Rose has got 35 in the game.
That's how it works. Your defense feeds into the offense.
Yeah, excellent work, I thought. Solid work on both ends in that particular sequence.
Timeout call, the Heat.
This run is definitely a concern. They lost all momentum. They need to try to sort this out right away.
C.J. Watson, he's checked in for Derrick Rose. And then for Miami, Chris Bosh is checked in for Juwan Howard. James Jones comes in for LeBron. Eddie House subbed in for Mario Chalmers. House dishes to Wade. Over Hamilton, and he hits the jumper for 2. Wade's got 8 points here in this quarter.
And now 6 of their last 10 points from mid-range.
That jump shot really serving these guys pretty well. He continues to do everything well out there.
You know what? And it's really hard based on that to determine what he's done best so far.
And stolen by Hamilton. No one back, 2 on 9. Korver with the fadeaway. And that is good.
Great shot. Had to fade back, but he still managed to drain it.
Line up. In time. Yeah, ready to go. And as we end the third quarter, a double-digit deficit will make it tough to come back. A fantastic game from Derrick Rose in this one.
Yeah, we have, Kevin, and that's exactly what this team needed from him. He's been terrific.
And you know what, Steve? A double-double in 3 quarters to play, guys. I mean, that's nothing to complain about.
From the United Center in Chicago, back in a moment. we're still getting underway here in the fourth. Let's go down to Doris Burke, who has our Sprite Spark of the Game report. Doris?
Kevin, well, our spark of the game goes to the Bulls for that major surge. It was lockdown defense in the second quarter that allowed them to build this lead they now enjoy. Another quarter with that kind of defensive intensity will be more than enough to close this game out, Kevin.
Thanks, Doris. Clark, it was a scoring run that proved extremely important.
Yeah, Kevin, you know what? I think that's exactly when they grabbed this one by the throat, really seized control of it.
And you could see their energy just building as the game went on. And by the end of that run, they really took control of everything. Beautiful possession. They found the open man.
Korver kicks it to Noah. Another one falls for Chicago.
He got that one, but he hasn't been producing the way we're accustomed to. He needs to look for a shot a bit more.
Here's Chalmers. Pass to House. He's covered by Watson. Fades. The shot by House is no good. The Bulls leading by 18. Here is Korver. Unloads. And the Bulls another three.
They're just giving up a ton of three-pointers.
You know, it's tough to close out on a team when they space the floor and they got guys that can shoot it that way and they got it going, but you got to find a way.
Here is House. Here's Haslam. The shot by Bosch. Lets it go from the baseline and nails it.
That's 10 straight points now coming in that mid-range jump shot area, guys.
Yeah, it is, and they're picking their spots and finding holes in the middle of that. Defense to get those shots off. And I think that's very good discipline they're showing us here.
But it's amazing watching Noah's shot. It's so unorthodox the way he kind of spins it off the side of his hand. The ball almost has side spin on it, but it's effective. I mean, he's not a guy who you can just leave alone out there defensively. He can make a shot.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Butler, he's checked in for Korver. Hamilton comes in for Keith Bogans. And Derrick Rose is subbed in for C.J. Watson.
I like that. Run to the three-point line, find a wide-open shot.
Steve was talking about Noah's shot, and Clark, I know you've talked about it too. What did they call it, or what did I hear him say? It was called the tornado?
It's like they call it the blood on its axis, when it spins sideways. But you know what? It's unorthodox. It's not textbook, but it is effective, and that's the bottom line. It's kind of like your golf swing. You're all over the place on the backswing and coming down, but the impact, Kevin, you're right where you need to be, and that's what makes the difference. Right. Where are you at impact?
You talking about my backswing or just anybody's backswing?
I was actually talking about yours.
About first, thank you. Rose kicks to Hamilton. It's stolen by Wade.
So a couple of poor possessions now in a row consecutively. Both times turnover. That's not productive basketball. That's not winning basketball.
No, but you start stringing errors back to back together, you lose all momentum in this game. Another three, and you can see the barrage from long range here in the second half.
Well, they have come out blazing, and defensively, it's hard to deny that shot. I mean, that's a lot of ground to cover when a team spreads you out like they do.
A different look for Miami. Ilgauskas is checked in for Haslam. LeBron comes in for Chris Bosh. And it's Chalmers in for Mike Bibby. Deflects the pass. There's Miller with the three. That's good, and so Chalmers with the assist. Chalmers has got 4 assists in the game. Here's Rose. Again, Chicago.
That was a textbook shot from Rose, and pretty to boot.
Timeout called the Heat.
Well, the Bulls had to battle some injuries last year, but it didn't slow them down one bit in their rampage through the East. All those Boozer missed time early. Joakim Noah missed a large chunk of the season as well, but it didn't slow them down.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Boozer comes in for Josh Gibson. And it's Corver in for Butler. And then for Miami, Udonis Haslem is checked in for Ilgauskas. And Chris Bosh is subbed in for Mike Miller. Here's Wade, up and in with the jumper near the hoop. Wade's got 4 points this quarter. Stevie talked about the injuries. Boozer, Clark, you come to expect it a bit with the Bulls, but they didn't miss a beat.
They had the depth to make up for it. I mean, Boozer's injury clearly was a problem, but then Noah was out for a while as well, and they really missed his length and activity, particularly on defense and on the boards. Could you imagine their record if they had stayed healthy all year? It would probably been close to 70.
Absolutely. You're right.
Kevin, well done there. Entry passes aren't the easiest ones to make, but they may be the most important.
Now you can put this one in the W column. I mean, this is locked up now.
Yeah, I agree with you, Steve. I mean, they closed this game out exactly like they needed to.
And he pushes it through. Sports Slam Cam with the replay.
Now that's just rubbing it in, fellas.
Throwing it down with style.
These folks are not going to forget that one anytime soon.
LeBron, that's a two-pointer and another basket for Miami.
Well, for one, he hasn't let them down. I mean, but a few other guys need to pick up the pace if they're going to be good.
And here's Rose.
Right here, back door.
Five on the clock. Takes the three, and the Bulls another three.
Wow. What can you say?
Richard Hamilton.
Here's LeBron. 56 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. Wade kicks to Bosh. Boozer picks him up, and Bosh gets it to go. The assist by Wade.
Now, they probably needed more of this earlier, guys. I don't think there's enough time left to get back into the game.
Guys, this is really a case of too little too late, but at least it gives them something to work off of going into the next game.
Another bucket, and they are just pulling away here now.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They're sprinting to the finish line.
And these two just going at it from deep now.
You know, it seems like what's going on here is anything you can do, I can do better territory.
Well, they look good here tonight, and now they are coasting to the finish line.
Steve, just a matter of time right now.
Here's the three, and the Heat another three. And it's the Bulls with the ball. Their biggest lead of the game was 21. Rose, good.
He looks good, getting it done consistently from deep.
Steve, I know you love the three ball, and he's been sharp, kind of like Steve Kerr used to be.
And it's Chalmers, that time on the assist by Wade.
They come right back with the triple.
And I'm going to how about a 3 for a 3, Steve? Fantastic steal. He knew exactly when to jump into that passing lane. Well done.
For the finish, and the cross. Throws it down hard.
Boy, that dunk got everybody up off their seat.
Oh, they're loving it, aren't they, Steve?
Well, how could they not? I mean, he put the cherry on top of the sundae on that.
He's had a big half from beyond the arc. When he's this hot, the green light doesn't get much green.
And so Chicago takes this one, and by a big margin. You know, Clark, every team has a bad night, and these guys might want to watch the tape of this game the next time they have a bad night to remind themselves how dominant they can be.
Well, this is one of those dream-like games for a coach.
And that'll do it for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. And now we present the Jordan Player of the Game, Derrick Rose.
Thanks for watching, guys. This is Andre Kenshin. We'll see you tomorrow for the NFL Week 6 predictions. And now we're approaching, and right now as the NFL Week 6 primetime begins. You saw earlier the Kansas City Chiefs defeat the New Orleans Saints. And now Week 6 Thursday Night Football, there are Week 6 primetime matchups in Week 6. Thursday Night Football is the San Francisco 49ers take on the Seattle Seahawks. Sunday Night Football is the Cincinnati Bengals take on the New York Giants. And the Monday Night Football is the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. Hope you enjoy this video. We'll catch up. We'll see you in the next video. Sign up and peace out. Good night, everyone.